the doctors were alleging that the cause of her baby's birth injury was something genetic. But mom and dad still had questions. They wanted to know, what can they do if they're still having a hard time understanding this genetic aspect of things? Want to know what I'm getting at here? Stay with me as I share with you this very important information. Hello, I'm Marcus Boston, and I am a childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorney practicing law in the state of Maryland, and I would like to quickly talk with you today about that question. And that question is going to deal with genetics and the role that they can play from the defense side in a possible birth trauma or a birth injury case. Now, before I get to the basis of this video, which is essentially, what can you do if you're having questions about the genetic aspect of a diagnosis. So before I get to that, I want to make sure that you understand that in some instances, in some cases, the cause of a baby's injury, it legitimately may be genetic. But what can happen in some instances is that the parents will be given a genetic diagnosis for the cause of their child's injury at birth. And it will be down the line, the family may have other questions. Either they have seen another doctor and that doctor has given them another opinion as to things, or the genetic issue, when the family takes a look at that information, their baby does not manifest what it should be manifesting according to the information on the genetic piece of everything. So what I want to help you understand, that if you are in a situation where the doctors are saying that the cause of that injury is something genetic and it's not birth trauma related, remember that if you still have questions as a parent, you can go and get a second opinion. If the doctors are not answering your questions, or you feel that there are some loose ends in regards to things, it is okay to get a second opinion as to what may have happened with your child. Let me give you a quick example. Now, and like I said, this does not necessarily mean that it's always going to be like this. But we have been involved in situations where doctors or hospitals may have suggested that the cause of a baby's injury was from a genetic aspect. And when we got in to take a look at everything, well, we determined, or we were able to see, that there was meconium present, there was problems with the electronic fetal heart monitor, there were other doctors who had taken a look at what was going on, and their opinions were contrary to what the original opinions were in regards to genetic causes and things like that. Now, like I said, I'm not necessarily saying that it's always going to mean that if you have a genetic issue there, that it's never going to be genetic. But what I am trying to help you understand is, if you have other questions and you do want to go in another direction, that you can get a second opinion in regards to what's going on with your baby. And not only in regards to the diagnosis, but also as to the treatment. So why have I taken the time today to talk with you really quick about this information? Because I'm trying to help you understand how this process works if you have other questions. I'm trying to help you to understand that in a lot of instances, when we are talking about birth trauma and birth injury cases, that genetics and things like that are brought up as a way to blame essentially the parents as to the cause of the child's injury. And in not every instance, I should say, that is correct. In some instances, these injuries are due to birth trauma. They are due to doctors and hospitals not paying attention to the readings on the electronic fetal heart monitor, or not being able to ascertain certain things during labor and delivery, and letting a baby or a mother go on and having the labor and delivery to go on, and the baby is in fetal distress, and the doctors are not properly diagnosing the fetal distress, they're not properly treating the fetal distress, and now the baby has a brain injury. If you have more questions about what's going on with your child, maybe you're here today because your baby has a CP diagnosis, and now you have questions. Maybe there have been some suggestions on some genetic things, and other doctors may have been giving you, may have told you something different now, and you now have questions. If you would like to speak with me further, this is what I invite you to do. And remember, taking this next action, it costs you absolutely nothing. And what is that action? To pick up the phone and give me a call. I can be reached at 301-850-4832. You can reach me toll free at 1-833-4BABY-HELP. You can also reach me through email at medicalinjury@BostonLawGroupLLC.com. I talk to families all the time about birth injuries and birth trauma, medical malpractice, wrongful death types of situations. I speak with families about this. This is what we do. And I will be glad to take some time and to listen to your story. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law at Boston Law Group LLC. And we will see you next time. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.